Next is Mr. Van Kesteren, and thank you for welcome to come to committee tonight. And it's
thank you, Chair. Thank you, and thank you all for 4 minutes. Well, I'll try to be quick. I wasn't going to say anything, and I do thank you all for this opportunity. Until I heard Tom's story, and it reminded one of my own too. Mr. Corbett, I don't know if I agree with it. As a matter of fact, I really don't agree. When you suggested that most elections, all elections in Canada, are fair and honest. And I think for the most part that's correct. But you know, I got thinking of this little phrase. I was at eyes not seen or ear heard. What people's imagination will conjure up. And back in 2004, first year I ran, and I was one of these that just narrowly defeated, I think 403 votes or something like that. Green as grass. I'd never run an election before, never been involved in one, and so somewhat dejected and depressed, we went back to the drawing boards and we looked at the polls and dug up and started looking at all these numbers, and we noticed this one particular poll, and doggone it, we were wiped. I mean, wiped out, not close, wiped out, 53-2, 60, whatever it was. It's just somewhat depressing. And so we, obviously the question was, well, what are these polls? Well, they're nursing homes. Now, I ask you, because I know the answer, and I hope you have the same answer. Surprisingly, the next time around, we put people inside those nursing homes, and doggone, I think we won most of those nursing homes. So, you know, I want to go back to what you were saying about prosecution and taking it out. I would think, being just like everybody else, who would be somewhat fearful and somewhat nervous about doing something wrong, if there was repercussions, or if there was something that may result in a little bit more than just, as Mr. Lipinski was talking about, the act that, well, nothing had really happened, I'd be reluctant if I was involved in a scheme like that. So wouldn't you agree that maybe that kind of a change in the Election Act might prevent that sort of fraud from ever happening again?
Change to what again, sorry?
Just well, let's call it hanky-panky. Let's just call it those little irregularities that people have conjured up through the years. And would you know, if you were working inside a polling booth or something, wouldn't you think maybe that people might be a little afraid of pulling something like that off?
If there was an offense, you mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's an obvious offense. I mean,
well, you'll have to give me a better definition of the offense here, but I mean, in the polling booth, in the polling station, there are numerous people watching what goes on, including scrutineers from the political parties, are there not?
We didn't have scrutineers at the particular, yeah. Well, okay, we can argue that's my fault. You're right. I probably should have had scrutineers. We didn't have the people. We were new at this game. But isn't it wrong, whether or not there were scrutineers there, isn't it wrong to take, I'm guessing, maybe some old folks that really didn't know what day it was, let alone who they're going to be voting
Yes,
for?
it is. It's influencing the vote.
Yeah.
I presume there's an offense in the Act amongst those 200 that might fit it already. But I think that's a genuine concern as to how these polls, how voting is conducted at nursing homes.
And would it be possible that if we were better able to identify those things, and if the repercussions would be such that it would be a little bit more than, I'm just trying to
a little more than a couple of $1,000 fine.
Yeah.
Well, that's what your legislation will do now. It'll make the penalties more severe. I believe there's an offense for that already.
Yeah.
Kesteren, and your story. We'll go now to